How would you like to go back in time to meet Da Vinci, Caravaggio, and Rembrandt? Well, the author who's about to join me is going to take you back to these places, and she's got another one coming up. So please welcome one of my all-time favorite authors, Belle Ami. Thank you for coming to the channel.
Thank you for having me, Stephen. I'm
I'm
delighted.
I am fangirling all over the place today. I can't tell you this enough. And you don't know this, but my channel would not exist if it wasn't for you. Because I got into reviewing about 4 years ago, and I worked for a review website that I'm not allowed to mention. And your book, The Girl Who Knew Da Vinci, was the third book that I read for that website. And at that moment, 20% into that book, and I thought, this is why I love independent authors, because they write such amazing stories like this one and don't have enough publicity. So my mission in life from that moment was to make sure that I promote indie authors as much as I can. So every indie author in the world that I'm featuring on my channel owes it to you for inspiring me to do this. So thank you for that.
Every indie author in the world is delighted to have people like you review and look at their work and give them a chance of reaching out to a larger audience.
Wow. Well, thank you, and thank you for the book. So, look, we'll start talking about the book. So, you are one of these super talented authors that write in many different genres, and so you have so many genres. We're not going to get through them all this chat. So we're going to meet again and talk about others. But today, I want to talk about the Out of Time series, which is where I started with you and fell in love with your writing. And so, the first book, The Girl Who Loved Da Vinci, is about a modern day girl named Angela who is in an art gallery looking at some art, and she has a vision of the past. And in the vision, she actually gets to meet Leonardo da Vinci, plus other things that went on as well. So I don't want to spoil it for the readers because I want everyone to read this book. But if you love time travel, historical romance, and famous painters, then you must read Belle Ami's Out of Time series because you will be as enraptured as I am. So, can you give me a summary of the series?
Owen Angela uh, is a psychic, but she's a recent psychic. She didn't, it happens to her once she starts to work in the industry. She's an art historian, and this is her first job at the Getty Museum. And she is drawn into the past in such a way that, and there's a mystery to solve in every book. So in this book, the mystery is to find a painting that was never, that had been rumored, but never authenticated or ever found or ever seen. And my hero is Alex Kane, and he is an art detective, ex-net Navy SEAL. And he's been hired by a billionaire in Germany to find this painting because the painting disappeared when his uncle, who was a, well, he wasn't a Nazi, but he was a German officer, was heading up the Uffizi Gallery in Florence and disappeared and wrote in letters to his mother about finding this painting. And now that man wants to clear, he disappeared, the uncle. He wants to find what happened to his uncle and clear his name because he was considered a deserter and all other things. So the journey begins, and Alex and there is a very bad guy who is the
Mm,
museum director at the Uffizi, and he knows the painting exists, and he's after it. And he also suspects that Angela is somehow the key because he's been videoing her as she goes into these trances in front of the painting, which is what she does. And I won't say the journey takes them all over the place, but
mm.
definitely to Florence. And it has a lot of beautiful moments in it. It has all kinds of places, food, lots of food, because I'm a gourmet chef. So I like I like food, and Italian is my specialty. So anyway,
Great. So, Girl Who Knew Da Vinci wonderful book. The book two in the series, The Girl Who Loved Caravaggio. So Angela's back.
Angela's back, and this time, go ahead.
No,
You were going to say
opening the door for you.
and this time the dreams start coming, but obviously, I won't even say the fact that there is something about reincarnation. Well, I have to say it because in my mind, that's part of what this is about. This is
Right.
about reincarnation and somewhat, and also time travel.
Past
Time
lives.
travel, and reincarnation, and a psychic ability, and then solving mysteries. The Caravaggio is one of the most famous art thefts in the. It's a real painting, and it's on to this day is the number two stolen treasure that they seek, the FBI, and on the wanted list. And so Angela basically solves the mystery, but can't reveal where it is.
Okay.
Purportedly, it was stolen by, in reality, in real life, it was purportedly stolen by the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's thought. And again, so off go Angela and Alex to everywhere you can imagine, looking for this painting, all over Italy mostly, and it ends up being in, well, I won't say where it ends up, but it ends up with a mafia tie.
Right. And then we've got the girl who adored Rembrandt. So we've got another famous artist, and Angela's back again.
Angela's back again, and this time I've got Mexican drug cartel steals a Rembrandt from the home of a San Francisco wealthy couple, and they go after it to Mexico, and of course lots of stuff happened. They're working with the FBI, and they end up in Mexico, and a lot of things happen. The gang that took it is a huge drug cartel, and the person that took the head of the cartel has a special connection to the painting, as does in Caravaggio. The mafia boss has a special connection to the painting, and they end up going to Indonesia, to Batavia. I forget that city that was the names of these places sometimes. That was where the spices that's where Rembrandt's daughter, his real actual daughter, ended up with her husband, and she had two sons. So purportedly in history, there is no, the genealogy died there. Supposedly the two sons died. I've come up with a possibility that maybe the gene line survived, and I won't even say what that is. They figure it out, and of course they do find the painting again, but they can't reveal it because the one that was in San Francisco, I won't even say it. But anyway, it was it's a mystery.
Great. And so very exciting. Book 4 is coming out.
Yes, I'm very excited about book 4. I'm in edit right now. The book is done. It's just being edited. And I'm in edit, back and forth with my editor. And this one is about Tamara de Lempicka. It's my first one about a female artist, so I'm really thrilled about that. And she lived she was born in like 1898 or 1905, excuse me. 1905, and she lives through the Russian Revolution. She lived through World War II, and this is about a real painting again. The painting purportedly was stolen from a villa on the Côte d'Azur in France by a Nazi who was seen. The gardener saw him leave. It was and so the only thing is I created the Nazi I wanted it to be, the guy, and this guy actually lived through the war and ended up in Syria. And so this story will take you from South America, and also there's a very big community where a lot of the Nazis escaped to in South America. So this story will take you from Liechtenstein to South America, to Russia, I mean, all over the world.
Cool.
And Angela's mother, who is a arms dealer who she's never met,
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
know. I don't know if you remember. I talk about her as Madam X. She's
Right.
Madam
Yes.
X.
Yes.
So she factors big in this book.
Great. Okay. Good. Getting ahead of myself here, but is there a number 5 or and 6 and 7? Can
Oh,
this
I'm
series
sure
go
there
on?
will be.
Yay!
I think you
Yeah.
can. I think you can.
Great. Okay.
There's no reason for it not, but they might be married.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's heading that way. So,
Yeah.
so the Out of Time series, everybody, you need to read these books. They're just so wonderful. And if you love art and art history like I do, and time travel and reincarnation and past lives, all that really good stuff, then you will lap these books up as much as I did. So, and just in case you can't get enough of Leonardo da Vinci, and who can, you have a standalone book, Mona Lisa's Daughter, which is in my top 5 of ever read books in my life, because this book just blew me away with how amazing it is. So everyone, for years and years and years, people have said, who is the Mona Lisa? Was she Leonardo in drag? Was she one of the famous models of the time? But the common belief is that she's actually the wife of a silk merchant, and her name is Lisa del Giacomo. Yeah. So your story is about a romance of kind between Leonardo and Lisa, and how she became to be the Mona Lisa. And
Correct.
um, what else do you want to tell us about this story? Because you describe it so beautifully.
So I consider myself kind of an expert in Leonardo because I've
You
read
sure are.
every single thing ever written about him almost. I read the 1,000 page, that huge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what I use for my research for the book. Um, so anything you read in my book about Leonardo is true,
Great.
as far as we know,
What's been reported?
because
Yeah.
there's always gaps in what we know. But anyway, this story I loved. This is a dual timeline,
Yep.
and I have World War. I have two stories going on, and it's always interesting to me. Some people like they have a favorite. See,
Right.
I don't have a favorite, but they have a favorite of which dual period they like better. Some
Okay.
like the Renaissance and some like World War II.
Hmm.
So it's interesting to hear from people when they read it what character hit them the hardest, or that they love the most. But the story is about a correspondence that is, because it reveals so personal things about Leonardo and Lisa that would have not have been okay with. Lisa was married, she had children, and
Yeah.
anyway. So it's a correspondence between the two of them that takes place over 17, 18 years, basically. And those letters had been hidden. In reality, Mona Lisa's daughter became a nun, and Lisa died at that nunnery. So everything in
Mhm.
the book is real that
Right.
takes place. So that daughter, the only thing not real are the cachet of letters, at least not that I know, because maybe I'm psychic and maybe there is a
Maybe
cachet
they
being
really
hidden.
exist. Yes.
Yeah. So the letters are hidden by this nunnery who protect them, because obviously they also would be worth gazillion, of dollars and could be used anyway. And the Germans are about to, are have taken over Italy. So this is about the story, two stories that interlock. A young nun who is given the important duty of transcribing the letters, and
Yeah.
this is, so each time she transcribes, you go back in time
Yeah.
and you experience the relationship, and then it always ties in a way to the present time. I mean, to the World War II time. Lose
Right.
my mind.
Yeah. It's a wonderful book, and what I love so many things about you and your writing, but one of the things that you touched on is that you've read this 1,000 page book about Leonardo da Vinci. So your research to write these historical novels is so expert and so correct that I believe every word of every book of yours, because whatever artistic license you've added, is so plausible that it could be real. And
That's my hope.
and I want to believe that Leonardo and Lisa had this relationship, and there is a daughter, and there is a line of children that exist today that are based on him and have come from his love and this painting. So um, I can't get enough of you and your books, and I'm excited for number 4 and the rest. What's
I'm
next
going
for
to
you?
make sure you read. You'll be the first one to read
Thank
it.
you so much. I'll be waiting for it. So, buddy, this is what you need to do. You need to go out now and you need to get the girl who knew Da Vinci. Love that as much as I did. Then the girl who loved Caravaggio. Then the girl who, oh,
Adore Rembrandt.
Rembrandt. And then once you finish all those, you'll be ready for book number 4, which still has a working title at the moment. So we're not going to spoil that for you yet, but we'll announce it on this channel the day it's released. And then you'll be all set for that one. And then I'll bring Belle back and we'll talk about her other series, which are completely different. And if you like a bit of spice and a bit of sizzle in your historical romances, you'll need to join us for that interview.
Yeah, I have time travel there too. I love time travel.
Me too. That's why this is so great. So thank you so much, Belle, for coming to the channel. Like I said, I'm fangirling so much meeting you today and having you on the channel. And I can't wait for book number 4 and to meet you again.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Stephen. I really appreciate it. And I thank you for all of your support.